Good evening, dear viewers of Smart 24 TV. And we come in this POLICON program this late night, considering the issues that are so relevant to our society, especially for the progress and development of Uganda and East Africa generally. My name is Dr. Joseph Tindiebwa, and we are extremely honored and humbled to have our dear guest here, Honorable James Kakoza. Honorable James Kakoza, he has a long political profile, a good one, that we do appreciate as Ugandans. And those who know Honorable James Kakoza, we appreciate you, sir, for your eminent contribution to the political development of this country since, personally, the time I was joining civil service 2001, and then 2006, your consistency in political debates were always great. Kindly greet the viewers.
Oh, thank you. I'm happy to be hosted by Smart. Is it Smart?
24 TV.
24 TV.
Yes, sir.
And good evening, viewers. Let me hope you like our conversations.
Yes. Thank you so much. Dear viewers of Smart 24 TV, having your Honorable James Kakoza, he is the representative, East Africa Legislative Assembly representative, and of which we know that very soon, I do wish you well, sir. I know and I believe, I trust that you'll be able to again carry on your responsibility 2022-2027.
Thank you very much.
I hope everything will be okay. And I take the opportunity to congratulate you. When you joined EALA, you were completing a term of office, of which was, I remember, by the time when you had the by-election. So much as time has gone, but I still congratulate you. I remember it was a tough race. Yeah, going forward, we have a topical discussion, assessment of East Africa, and looking at the East Africa Legislative Assembly progress for economic integration and partner state citizen welfare. Our dear viewers, having our guest who is a representative of Uganda in the East Africa Legislative Assembly, it is of a great importance to have the views that will be shared, especially to inspire you outside there. As you know, the philosophy of our TV, we do have discussions that continue to support the economic growth and development of our country and the region. And we are much more aligned to have a sharing of information from responsible persons and, if anything, experts that do make an impartation of the views that they do share with us and which are very much relevant to us. It has been some good time since we began, citizens became aware of East Africa community. And since its revival, 1999-2000, where we see its revival after its downfall. And some citizens, especially the young generation, may not know that part of the story. Why did it collapse? As some commentators have brought out the information that this was in existence before, where we have Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania. And in the process of its revival, we are now aware that it ranges the number, the makeup of the partner state, it goes to around 7. We have not had an opportunity.
6 now.
Now 6.
Zaire
right?
is DRC.
Yes.
They are joining, I think, what they have given out their requirements.
Yes, sir.
We hope in September.
Yes, sir.
By the end of this term of office, they would have sent their representatives.
Yes, sir.
Everything would have been complete.
Yes, sir. Policy recommenders have made recommendation that in order to see the realization of economic integration, there is a conference which was attended by Professor Saviti Makara, and it was an NGO organized by an NGO Oxford. They recommended that in order to have the realization of East African integration, economic integration, and maybe federation, there is a need of awareness of the member state citizens to appreciate whether the pursuit of East Africa economic integration is meaningful to them. Yes, and it is where we come to this point of our discussion to assess the time you've been there and the time you became interested to shift from the politics of internal politics of parliament here and go to East Africa. I know it was out of passion. Honorable, it's a pleasure to receive the narrative, the expression of ideas, and the inspiration of why the taxpayers' money continue to contribute our being part of the East African community.
Oh, thank you very much. And viewers, I think let me start it this way.
Yes, sir.
Of course, East African community, it was there before. Most of the people might not know the history, but when it started, when the readers by then, Obote, Nyerere, Chinyata, they had a vision, they had passion that really we need to have a federation within the partner states, as mentioned, Tanzania, Uganda. I was reading Uganda August of, I think it was 5th, the president was talking about when he was orienting the East African member, was addressing the East Africa, how East Africa, by then, it was a vision of those readers of 1963 by then. That's when they wanted. Yes, and unfortunately, it collapsed in 69. Then by then, Amin took over. Obote came in. And even the other partner states, Uganda, Rwanda, we had a war in 1994. You see, there was no stability within the region. But after that, I think the president thought it wise. And the global trend now, how it works now. They thought it wise that they should go back to the other history. They make a SWOT analysis, the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, and the threats to counter the global trend now. Economically, all over the world, globally, I think countries must work in blocks to achieve what they want. You can know the blocks we have now. We have the Western in Africa. We have the South COMESA. We have East African Community now. And you see European Union, you see the United States. All these are blocks. The objective is just to achieve, to deal with those challenges, the bottlenecks that affect the citizens of those particular partner states. And what I have to confirm and assure the people, the public, that East African community is not for leaders, it's for citizens. And if it's for citizens, you have to deal with those bottlenecks that are affecting those people in partner states. When you look at the treaty as it's signed, the new one, it has 4 fundamental pillars. One is East African Customs Union. 2, the common market. 3, the monetary union. 4, the federation. When you look at those pillars, those are the key fundamentals, objectives of why this new East African community, that the leaders sat and agreed, made that treaty and signed protocols so that they can have a vision within these partner states to deal with those challenges within those partner states. And which I think is the key objective of that. Maybe for the benefit of viewers, The East African Community means you have one system within the partner states. You have the East African Customs Management Act as a supreme law. Then you have the common market, that's free movement of people as a second pillar. Because what is needed in these partner states, what is important? And the citizens to move freely, to remove those non-tariff barriers that can be an impediment to people to interact freely. Free movement of people, free movement of goods, free movement of services, because those are the key objectives that people need, the citizens of the country, to be at a certain level so that they do influence the lives of the citizens, and which are key. Then when you look at the monetary union, which was there in the other corrupt East African Community, single currency, we had East African Railways, we had the East African Airlines, so forth. That's the monetary union, which now I think is the third pillar. And then the federation, which our elders, Julius Nyerere, Obote, which they had. That they can have a federation. We have one command. I can maybe, for the benefit of viewers, it means that when you have a federation, you are going to have one army commander. You will have a joint force. That anything that destabilizing within the partner states, you have people to go. Like when now, I can give an example. When you see M23.
M23 is a very big challenge.
It's a very big challenge within the region. The insecurity within Zaire and Uganda, the spillovers which come from those countries do affect the neighbors. So if you have a federation, the Joint Forces Command can come in and see who is attacking us with a common objective, because we would have gone for a federation. So these are the clear objectives of the treaty that was signed by the partner states. Of course, they started at 3. It was Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya. Then other groups. Rwanda said, no, we have to be part of you. Then Burundi came on board. Then South Sudan. Now, even Zaire is saying, no, we have to join and be part of you so that we can, some bottlenecks within the region. And by the way, when these challenges are solved, I think we are going to be having a very, 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 very formidable economic base within the region. And actually, most of the people, if there is, those pillars are achieved, there will be a very, very good unity, and it will be a very good economic base. Like for the common market, like Uganda, we are about 40 million, 47 around. Kenya is around almost 60, approximately. Tanzania is above 60. You are talking of these countries. If you add DRC, there's about 89. You are talking of almost approximately 300 million people you are talking about. And if these people have common objectives, like people who want to transact business, you have a wider market to deal with rather than one partner state. And I think it's high time. The vision which by then of the readers, it must be achieved its logical conclusion. Because the benefits out of that now, currently, if you mention a few, you see that there is a bright future of the citizens. I can tell you with the East African Customs Union, it was ratified by 2005. By then, the turnaround time of doing business, you could import a container, let's say from China or Dubai or Japan, wherever you are. It could take you almost a week, a container to come, clearing those goods, coming to Uganda. It could take you a week. But currently, after signing all those protocols, having one law in place, using one system, you can see that you can move from Mombasa to Uganda within 3 days, and you get your goods.
Honorable, we are going to be going together in this assessment by interaction.
Okay, that's fine.
And I appreciate for your first submission that indeed gives us hope and to the viewers. However, when we look back to the treaty, indeed the East Africa Community Treaty, besides the pillars, I'm able to recall and refer to the principles of the community. And the fundamental principles that are referred to declares that there shall be principles which will govern the achievement of the objectives of the community that include mutual trust, political will, and sovereign
sovereignty.
Yeah, sovereign equality. And another one, it is peaceful coexistence and good neighborliness.
That's true.
Number 3, peaceful settlement of disputes. Number 4, good governance, including adherence to the principles of democracy, the rule of law, accountability, transparency, social justice, equal opportunities, and as others we are going to mention. While reflecting on what I've stated, and in our assessment, which would like to maybe to bring to the understanding of the viewers who are the beneficiaries of East African community, we seem to have witnessed mutual distrust in terms of dealing with among the member states, especially this happened between Uganda and Rwanda. We have never forgotten that story. I come from Kabale. Our businessmen and women and myself, who was, in the profession of lecturing, were affected very much. Lecturers, teachers were sent back home from Uganda. The border closed for
almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. And it was very difficult to resolve, to peacefully settle the dispute. We appreciate God and we appreciate the leaders that something has been done, but we suffered loss, which we can say we don't just hide under the carpet. And we look at what happened and what is still happening now between Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo, which is at apex of being fully part of the East African community. Again, we see it as a loss, especially in terms of the business that's supposed to be transacting very well between us and DRC. Peace pacts were signed, but to realize it, you remember you were in the parliament and you were also, as a senior citizen, you remember what was happening. And where there was even involvement of other parties to come and mediate the heads of state. Why is it that mutual trust is questionable and the political will is also questionable, especially in the area of the economic progress, where on parliamentary floor, I recall you are aware, where there was a challenge of Uganda, especially in her dealing with Kenya. And a certain point was almost to bring commotion, much as we appreciate the kind of skills that are with some leaders that were able to calm it down. How can we bridge this gap and we be now a formidable East African community and we don't underlook these challenges that have hit us at a certain point?
Well, of course, naturally, or by nature of systems, when systems are beginning, people don't seem to go along at the same pace. You know, when you are starting building a house, you must deal with a strong foundation. But as you deal with that strong foundation, there must be challenges you must face. And any challenge which comes on your way when you are constructing a foundation, it does not come to wither you away, but it makes you stronger. The potential, the capacity to learn from it and how you should go way forward. For example, I can tell you now, Uganda, Tanzania, and Kenya, because those are the people who started with, they were interacting a lot. Right. Then Rwanda came on board, and Burundi, and South Sudan. Yes, so to build those systems to go at the same time, it takes some time. But when people start realizing the advantage, then they come on board, though they can come on late, at a later time. I can tell you where we are now, to the economic situation all over globally. You cannot trade alone. You can see the conflict now where Uganda was exporting to Kenya and they refused some products of them. Have you seen now that they have opened up? Because an environment, you cannot work alone as a group when you want an economic base. Because you need a market. And if you need a market, are you going to trade alone? You can't.
You can't.
Those non-tariff barriers, where they are, those are the challenges within the system that can be worked upon seriously, and then people start enjoying the trust we are talking about.
The mutual trust. And
the mutual trust. Because most of the people think that this partnership is for leaders. You know, it's for citizens. Because citizens, them what they want to know, they don't want to know that either Museveni is quarreling with the Hulu or Samia or Kagame. No. What? The citizens themselves, what they are interested in. Can I go and move from Kenya and sell my products?
Absolutely, you are right.
Wait, I finish my point. Can I move from here and go to Rwanda? That's why the treaty there, it has a certain committee which is not yet established in that article. That those committees will resolve those conflicts to find out the nitty and gritty of those challenges they are facing. Because now you can see we are facing a war of Ukraine and Russia. We are having a climatic change where Uganda has a certain leverage among other countries. I can tell you in agriculture, the report has come out that Uganda is one of the countries in the partner state which has got an advantage over other countries on soils, naturally. So by the time you produce a product, your cost, the cost of production, is cheaper on agro-processing and all agriculture products. But in Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Zaire, you have to put in a lot. I'm just giving you. So, if these people have a comparative advantage, that they can grow certain products which you need, like food, you've heard now. The environment is forcing Kenya to open up for maize. To go to where? To Kenya.
So the opportunity for market for our products is really great.
You think they wanted it? They recently they were saying, no, please don't bring your maize. It's not of standard.
Yes.
But now family has come. They are opening up. They're saying, please.
Bring your maize.
I can give you another example. We are
supposed now to produce much more.
Much more.
Yes.
Sugar itself. Recently, the president of Tanzania came here. You remember there was an embargo that Uganda cannot trade where? Cannot take sugar to Tanzania. Them, they were getting sugar from where? From Brazil. But they have opened up now. So what I'm trying to say, to bring a point that these partner states, there is no way they cannot be having one common market to trade to each other. It's necessary even now. Because there are things which are in Kenya which we don't have. And the citizens need them. There are things in Tanzania where they have, we don't have them. where Uganda has more products than them, they need them.
We are going for a commercial break, and as we come back from the commercial break, there is this critical assessment that we are going to make, and I believe you agree with me that when elephants are fighting, it is the grass that suffers. It is indeed true that the benefits that citizens want from East Africa is beyond the relationship of leaders.
Exactly.
But yet, we will come back, sir, yet when these leaders are in conflict, we lose a lot. Stay tuned on March 24 TV. We are still with Honorable James Kakoza, and he is generously giving us the insight in assessing the economic and political progress of East African community. Don't go to sleep. It is too early for you, and follow us up as we continue with our discussion in the next session.